Yo, big up, Wagwan, why pre, where you depan, where you deal with, up top, blessings. We're there back again with another one, you see me? And we actually have a few early comments. Big up to Scarlett Money in the building. Scarlett, big up yourself. Much appreciate you being here. You also said everyone is waiting, man. Yeah, my apologies. I really did not mean to be this late, but I was just preparing a bit of the agenda for today. Make sure everything can roll through smoothly. Okay, have a nice conversation. There's a bit to talk about on West Ham today, and I'm a bit excited to get into it. But thanks for being here nonetheless, and nothing to worry about. This is not a regular thing. I usually hit my targets, so let's see on the review. I'll be here extra early for you guys. Don't worry. And big up to Ethan, FPL player as well. Much appreciate you being here. But like I said, we take off to the London Stadium tomorrow, actually. And I think we can start by looking at our last couple of visits to the London Stadium. Before we do that though, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe as well. You guys know we did hit our last goal of getting to 100 subscribers, and we did it a lot quicker than we initially thought. I was thinking maybe by the end of the year. With Big Steve's help, I was thinking, maybe by the end of this month. But so far, it's the support has been amazing. Big up to all of the new citizens that will be joining us on this journey as well. I'm looking forward to the conversations we'll have in the future about the club. And next goal is 300 subscribers. A lot of work to do to get there, but 100% very possible. But like I said, we can start by looking at the last few visits to the London Stadium. Last season, we won 2-0 in the first game of the season, courtesy of a Haaland brace. We know it was very anticipated to see what Erling Haaland would do in his first Premier League game, and he did not disappoint. He definitely led us through. And additionally, we did go on after that to do the double over West Ham in the season. But the season before, when we went to the London Stadium, we actually had two trips there. Earlier in the season, we played them in the fourth round of the Carabao Cup, I think it was, and it ended up in a 0-0 draw. So, not the result that we wanted. We ended up losing that game on penalties and getting knocked out of the Carabao Cup very early, which is uncharacteristic of Manchester City. But if I try to recall that game, the lineup was rotated. We didn't have our strongest lineup going up against West Ham that day. But I don't remember us creating any clear-cut chances in that game. And you could argue that the draw was a fair result, even though we did have the majority of the possession and created much more chances. So this is a tricky stadium for us. A bogey ground, I wouldn't dispute it. Scarlett says hello, clinical. Big up and hello to you as well. Big up all the blues in the chat, 100%. Yeah, I try to keep the goal updated as soon as I see it move, and we're getting to 300. Definitely getting there. MJG window cleaning. I don't think I've seen this name in here before, but big up to you. Watch West Ham park the bus. I 100% believe that this is a good possibility, but we'll get into that. We're definitely getting into what I think West Ham will be coming at us with. But later on in that same season, if you guys remember, we played West Ham as the second to last game at the end of the season. It was just before that very famous Aston Villa comeback that we made 3-2. But if you guys remember, it was a very shaky start at that West Ham London Stadium because Jared Bowen got them up 2-0 before the end of the first half. With an electric start like that, we looked a little bit stunned. We were a bit. I was worried about the title race at that point in time. But I love the fight back that I saw. Jack Grealish got his goal, and then I think it was Soufal who scored an own goal. We went on to take the point, 2-2 away, and we did what we did against Aston Villa to wrap up our second Premier League title in a row. But again, that was a very tough game. They really brought the game to us. I was not expecting such a difficult game. I thought that, seeing that it's so close to the end of the season, we know what the 3 points means to us. I know the level of fight I'm expecting to see Manchester City come out with in that particular game, but West Ham's game plan was exceptional on that day. It was absolutely amazing. But if you actually look at it compared to then and now, we're looking at two different teams for both of us. West Ham have parted ways with Declan Rice, their captain for a few seasons now, and in return they have brought in a couple of players in that midfield area. Edson Alvarez, James Ward-Prowse. Right now, I think we can see any combination of Suchek, Alvarez, and Ward-Prowse and Paqueta in that midfield, or all of them might play. It's only been 4 games, but they are currently sitting fourth place in the league on 10 points, 9 goals. We've scored 11. And I thought we scored a decent amount of goals. So big up to West Ham. They had a good start so far. They beat Chelsea 3-1 in this stadium. They went away to Brighton and beat them 3-1 as well, I believe. So yeah, they've gotten some good results so far. Let's get back to these comments because there's a lot of comments coming in here. Big up, man. Scarlett says, no Calvin Phillips. Personally, and I will get to the lineup soon, I don't think Calvin Phillips starts either. I'll get into the reasons for that, but I don't think Calvin Phillips will start this game. I do think there's a good potential that he'll play because he did get games for England over the international break, and he did perform well, to be fair to him. So I think there's potential that he'll get minutes, and it would be a good look for him to get minutes. I think in the upcoming games, we have Belgrade, Nottingham Forest, and Wolves away before we end this month. At least two out of those games, I think Calvin Phillips can definitely make an appearance. And I want to give him the chance to prove himself if he's good enough or not. So I think he might play. Ethan, Calvin Phillips fan, he says KP is great. He'll get his chance, and it's really up to him if he takes that chance. I really do want to at least see him get his chance, though. Manchester City in the chat, big up. And he says, I'm going for a City win. West Ham 0, City 3. I think that's very possible as well. With the injuries now, and I want to show you guys my predicted lineup later on. I don't really like doing predicted lineups because Pep Roulette, you really don't know who will choose to go with, and we could all come up with 10 different predicted 11s and have a genuine reason for all of them. So it's very difficult, but I wouldn't put it past Pep to come out of here with 3-0. I have confidence in this team. We're playing well. We won every game so far. It genuinely could happen. Um, Please, can you get Said TV soon on here? I could try. I could definitely try. I would love to have a chat with Said. I watch a lot of the Big Six. I watch his channel as well. But I don't know. I've never interacted with Said. I'm not sure if he'd be willing to come onto my channel. But there's no harm in trying. I'll definitely give him a shout and see. And if not, I may unsubscribe. Hey, if that's what happens, it would be unfortunate to watch you go, but that's how it is. Like I said, I can give it a try though. And I do want to give you guys the best content. So just please stick in for the journey. Continue to like and subscribe. We'll get to places and I'll give you guys the best content I can. Um Bit of bands in the comments. And MJG Window Cleaning says probably be looking at Rodri, Bernardo, and Foden maybe. We'll talk about it. We'll definitely talk about it. We'll talk about that. But yeah, looking at that West Ham team and what I expect to see from them in this game. Look, I think they'll approach us similarly to how they approached Brighton when they got their 3-1 win over them. Because Brighton is a team that is going to take the game to them. And I do think that they'll expect that from us as well. I'm expecting us to do exactly what we usually do. We are the best team in the league on paper, even by the fact that we won 3 Premier League titles in a row and winning every title race that we've come in so far. I think we are expected to bring the game to most teams every time we go against them. We never fail to at least attempt that. So I think West Ham, it might play into their hands for how they want to play. And that's why I think this can be a very difficult game, one that we can't really just write off as a win. And it's away as well. The fans will be up for this because there's a feel-good vibe around the club right now. Just like how we're riding the wave of winning the treble last season still, I think they're riding the wave of their conference league win as well. So this is a I think this will be a really good game. I think this will be a very tactical game. I hope West Ham's tactics I hope we don't end up like just clashing with each other, our strong defense against their counter attacking and then their difficult setup against us trying to break them down. And then we start looking at missing the players that we have, how the game would be different. And then it's just a frustrating game. I hope that's not what happens. I do think we'll see a couple goals in the game, but this game could very well end up 0-0, 1-0, something like that. But yeah, we'll just have to do what we can. I think in the midfield, that like what Pep does at the midfield will be so crucial because I think that is where the game will be won or lost in terms of snuffing out their counter-attacking opportunities and in terms of us creating and breaking down their low block that I'm expecting to see from them. So that midfield battle, if we're not on our best game, then I think it will be very difficult for us to break them down, especially when they're in this vibe right now and they're playing at home. But looking at the injuries, you guys, is it fair to say that we are in an injury crisis? Let me know what you guys think. You guys think we're in an injury crisis, or do you think I may be overreacting? Let me see what you guys are saying in the comments. Scarlett, you asked about if I know MCFC Connect. I want to get him on the show eventually as well because I do watch his channel, and I hope that me and him can continue to, we're around the same number of subscribers right now. We can both continue to grow and get our channels really out there and continue to get good content over to you guys. But yeah, I do plan to do get a lot more people on the stream as well. I tried getting guests on today, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Everybody is busy, but maybe for the review I might have another guest here with me, no problem. But yeah, MJG window cleaning says better to have injuries to key players now rather than the end of the season. 100% agree with you. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that because we can have the players out now and at the end of the season. So preferably, I just want to see like us minimize the number of injuries that we have. And when we do have injuries, it's not like a situation now where we have multiple key players out injured. Like Manchester City says here, we have four players out at the moment, and there are four key players. Well, five if you include, well, yeah, four if you include KDB. But KDB is out for the whole first half of the season. John Stones, massive last season. I think he started the Community Shield as the only game, and then, or maybe that was the Super Cup. But since then, he's been injured and out, and I still haven't heard any news on when he might be back. Kovacic was the one who came in for KDB in that Burnley game, and he's played every single game for us this season. So for me, he was playing well as well. So for me, I wouldn't have dropped him. So you could argue he was an undisputed starter if fit, just like everyone else, because Jack Grealish is also our main left winger. So having none of those options, I think our bench will look really short this game, but we'll have to pull through it. Signings like Matthias Nunes, Jeremy Doku, they'll have to. I think one of them will have to start, and then the next one will have to come off the bench. And if Pep will want to go for that different option, because I don't think that we'll make a lot of subs in this game because of the injury situation. This is definitely one of those games where we just go with zero subs or at most two subs. Like Pep will not make 3-4 subs this game. Definitely not. I don't see that happening. Um, MJG window cleaning says, true, KDB to me is a big loss out until January. I think everyone would agree with that because we know how different we are with him in the team in terms of chance creation and transition. Absolutely crucial. That's why I want to see Phil Foden play in that midfield area, but we'll get into the lineup right now, actually, very shortly, and I'll show you guys what I think. I'll show you what I think Pep will do, and I'll show you what I think will do. Um, Scarlett has a couple more comments here. She says MJG window cleaning is talking facts. Yeah, I think everyone would agree with what MJG window cleaning has just said, and just hope he's not actually a window cleaner. Hey, MJG window cleaning might have to come and confirm or deny that. Skylar, I think that's for me. You're saying I'm overreacting. I might be overreacting with the injuries. I might be, and I get if that's your opinion, but my opinion is that is this I don't think it will cause us to not win the game, but I think it will definitely affect us in terms of what we would have preferred to do. Our best chance of winning this game would definitely include probably all four of those players that we currently have injured. So it is a bit of a difficult situation to not go into the game with them. But I think with the options that we do have, regardless, we should still have enough to get a win out of the game. You know, be the better team, create the majority of the chances, and leave the London Stadium with 3 points coming back to the Etihad. So overreacting, maybe I am a little bit, but I do want to give respect to those players who are out at the moment. And MJG window cleaning did confirm and says, I am a window cleaner. Okay, no problem. And Ethan says, thanks for helping the algorithm. Definitely. Thank you guys so much. And I really do appreciate all you guys' comments. Unfortunately, I can't get through all of them. But I will try to get through as much of them as possible. They're moving fast. And then I want to get back on the agenda. Um, Manchester City says Scarlett is just trolling. Well, I do appreciate the comments regardless. And I don't think Scarlett has said anything disrespectful so far. So I don't mind, you know. Leave me a comments, give me your opinions, even if you don't agree with me, Scarlett. I don't mind having the conversations. Just keep it respectful and we can all have good conversations, different opinions, and no problems. He said the best city content creator is Boovie. I watched a few of his videos as well. But, you know, as you guys might have known from my last episode, I'm a big fan of Big Steve. I watch all his videos. So for me, he's the best Manchester City content creator. And when you get in Martin on, I actually did have Martin on the channel a month ago, I believe. We spoke about Calvin Phillips about a month ago and what were our thoughts of him going for this season. So definitely check that video out. It was an amazing video. Patrick True City fan was there as well. Great conversation. And he'll be definitely back soon as well. And Scarlett says, I prefer Big Steve to Mancunian Way. I watch both of them, and both of them are give amazing content in different ways. But just to get back to the agenda, let me show you guys what I have in terms of the predicted lineup. Hold on. There we go. So looking at this lineup, this is what I think Pep will go for. This is not necessarily what I would do, but I think this is what Pep would go for. I think he brings Nathan Ake back into the team. I don't remember what's the last. Oh, he did play against Fulham, but the last game he played before that was a minute ago. So I think he'll give him more minutes in this game. Um, he did apparently have two good performances for the Netherlands over the international break as well. He's been good this season. Last game he was good, scored a goal. So I think he'll be rewarded with his start. And like I said before, so many different opinions on what we could do with this 11 because Vardia could definitely come in right there. Um, it could still be Vardial and Ake, and Akanji doesn't play, but I think Pep will want to have somebody invert into that midfield. So one of Vardial or Akanji will be in there, I think. And I think Akanji is ahead of Vardial in terms of inverting next to Rodri. So this is what I'm expecting Pep to go with. And I think he'll start Matheus Nunes with Rodri, which is, in my opinion, a big call because he wouldn't have played any minutes for Manchester City before. Pep doesn't usually start players right after they sign for the club. They usually get a couple training sessions in first, and then after that, you'll see them maybe come on with if not a start, then 20 minutes to go or 15 minutes to go at the end of a game, get a feel for the system a bit before they start. But I think because of the current situation, if you look at Kovacic being out, instead of playing Nunes here, the other option would have been playing Bernardo next to Rodri. And I'll get into why Bernardo is on the wing in this lineup. But I think Nunez and Raju will be what Pep goes with as that next closest profile to Kovacic, and he'll go with three midfielders ahead of them: Phil Foden, Alvarez, and Bernardo, with Haaland up top, of course. I could go with Jeremy Doku to start, or rather, Pep could go with Jeremy Doku to start, but I think he'll try to keep at least one of those attacking options on the bench just in case anything goes pear shaped and we can bring in somebody else for a different aspect. For example, you could bring off Nunez, put Bernardo in that midfield, you put Foden on the right and Doku on the left, or Doku on the right, Foden on the left. Tons of different lineups that we could go through. But for me, this is what I'm expecting Pep to go with rationally. What I would have done, I would have definitely put Bernardo in the midfield, and I probably would have started Doku. But again, that's very risky, very very risky. This is the lineup I think that Pep will go with. Let me know what you guys think about this lineup. Let me know what you guys would go with for your lineups as well, or what you think Pep should do. Hold on. Think Pep should do with the lineup, and what you guys think of that lineup. Let me see the comments again. What about Veta Games? So Veta Games, I'm on his channel a lot as well. So I'm really appreciative that he does invite me to his channel fairly often and we can have good debates and chats. But the issue is when I tried to get Vater on previously, he had connection issues logging onto the software. I'm not really sure what the issue is up to now, but I should be getting him on as well for future shows. Hopefully we can get that sorted out. If not, and this platform doesn't work, I'll try to get back to StreamYard. But definitely me and Veta Games have a lot of content hopefully to do on this channel. He also owes me a FIFA match. So you know what? The next time Veta is streaming, I want to see some of you guys in there telling him to come play me, and I'll stream the match here, and we can all enjoy a FIFA match between me and Veta Games. I'm going to win. I'm not worried about winning, but he's still ducking me out, so definitely get onto him about playing me in that FIFA match. 100% Manchester City. I agree with you. Um, Scarlett also says City Extra is better than its LB. I like LB's channel as well. I like the perspective that he attacks his previews and reviews from. He did a great preview with Dan Lawless as well. I watched yesterday, so definitely check that out. That was really cool. But yeah, and obviously City Extra, Goat channel, Goat channel. I watch them every live stream, every watch along. I mean, when I'm watching the game, I have their watch along going on in the background. I'm listening to them. Quality content for Manchester City all around. Hit those likes for clinical Jamaican citizen. You heard it here. Definitely hit those likes. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the lineup though. MJG Window Cleaning says, I think you'll see Bernardo in the midfield and then Jeremy Doku cover in the wing. That's what I would do. I like this idea because I feel like I don't want to see a lineup. That lineup that I showed you, I personally don't want that. If Pep goes with it, I trust it. But for me, that would be a completely new midfield. Matheus Nunes has not played with either of our other midfielders as yet. So in this game that we're expecting to be a tough game to an extent, I don't see I don't see the benefit in starting a completely new midfield. I think that's kind of asking for too much trouble. I would go with Bernardo and Foden and Roger in the midfield. That's what I would have preferred. And then Doku on the wing. It would leave us light on the bench, but like I said, don't make any subs. We should still be able to come out with a win. I'll give you guys my prediction for the game afterwards. Scarlett doesn't like the team. She says, or I'm not sure. Confirm. I'm not sure if you're a she because Scarlett is usually a girl's name, but I don't want to assume that. So let me know. Regardless, Scarlett says mid team. To be honest, that is also understandable. Let me know what team you would have gone with. Ethan says rest Rodri. I do not see Rodri resting this game. He's the first name on the team sheet for this game, in my opinion, because he'll be very, very important in the game. I'm probably giving away a little bit right now because you guys know that we always do 3 players to watch from West Ham, 3 players to watch from Manchester City. For me, Rodri is one of those players who will be absolutely needed to have a good game for us to get something or get maximum points out of this game. I definitely think we'll need Rodri. Um, Scarlett believes that this is our toughest game yet. Very, very arguable. That's a very good conversation to have. It definitely could be our toughest game yet. Um, we have UCL on Tuesday, so rest some of them. That's also an understandable perspective to have. Yeah, I don't think we have the luxury of resting players though because of all the injuries that we have. Scarlett wants to know if I know Veta in real life. I don't. I met him through his channel. I actually reached out to him and asked him if I could do content, do a video with him. We could have a chat, and he invited me on. So definitely big up to Veta Games. Scarlett says don't like Don Lawless. I think he's funny. I think he's really funny. I enjoy his content. I definitely like his content. And like you said, you can't get away. He's everywhere this week. I don't mind because I think he's really funny. I like his perspective and the vibes that he comes with when he speaks on West Ham. Um, what do I think about MCFR doing back-to-back streams? So MCFR just hit 1K recently, and I do want to say big up to him for that because I love seeing city channels getting out there, you know. He was a little bit away from at 1K when I first got introduced to his channel, but he's doing stuff and people are definitely enjoying his content. I'm over there a lot as well in the comment section, and it's usually good vibes. And what I genuinely say is if it works for you, definitely go ahead and continue to do it. I don't have the energy to do back-to-back streams every day, but nothing is wrong with it if he can manage it, and it's definitely working for him and his channel is growing. So um why not do a stream yesterday and one today? Why not do a stream yesterday and one today? I don't, like I said, some like when I did the stream with Big Steve, I did a stream the day before that as well. But for me, it's not a regular thing for me to do streams every day. I'm trying to ease myself into this lifestyle and get you guys a set schedule. So, 2 days usually before the game, you'll see me the day after the game, you'll see me back again for the review. And, I'll let you guys know in advance shows that I'm planning to schedule. Scarlett does confirm that she is a girl. So you can start saying she, no problem. MJG window cleaning says, I agree. 3 midfielders. I think what you're saying is you agree with the Bernardo Foden Rodri. I think that is our best bet for best strength midfield that we can field. I just think, like I said, there are so many other reasons to not go with that midfield lineup because of the injuries that we have and potentially being light in other areas on the pitch and then on the bench as well. So there's a lot to consider. I said at the start KP would start. If I did, I definitely misspoke because I don't think he'll start. That's my genuine opinion. I don't think he'll start. If I did say that before, then that was just a slip of the tongue. My bad. He's doing one in 1 hour and then jumping straight into another one. Hey, like I said, if it works, it works. So I'm not going to knock it, but I, probably wouldn't go about it that way. But yeah, let's move on back with the preview. So I mentioned before the players that and I will go back to the comments before I wrap up, but I do want to touch into this last section. I want to keep the video relatively short as well because it's just me. So we can have longer conversations and bigger discussions when I have a guest on. I try to get a guest on for the review, but yeah, I'm trying to keep this one relatively short. The players that I'm looking at for West Ham to as their best chances to get something out of the game. I heard a West Ham fan say on another preview. It wasn't Dan Lawless this time. It was I don't remember his name. But it was Esteemed Company. It was Esteemed Company's West Ham preview I was watching, and he said he would take a 2-2 draw or any draw against us for that matter. Obviously, they would all take a win, but a draw is definitely a good result for them. And if I'm going up against the treble winners and the defending Premier League champions, Pep Guardiola, Erling Haaland in the squad, Rodri in the squad, Ruben Diaz. I'm taking a draw against them as well, realistically, right? But I think it's there for them to actually give us a very tough game and realistically get that draw as well. So Jared Bowen, as one of those informed players, I think he's definitely one to watch. I think if he has a good game, he'll give West Ham the best potential opportunity to go on and get 1 or 3 points out of this game. I think so far he has 3 goals and 1 assist in 4 games. That's a goal or assist every single game. So he's in a very rich reign of form right now. I think we'll get into how we'll handle him later on, but I do think he'll be feeling the vibe. Like I said, 2 goals against us 2 seasons ago before we played Aston Villa. You know, I think I would be surprised if he has a good record against us as well. So Jared Bowen, if he's in a good vein of form, one of the guys who usually steps up in big games for them, I think he'll definitely be one for us to watch. James Ward-Prowse is another one. We know he's a set piece king. Corners, free kicks, penalties, he's their guy. So Ward Prowse, so far, again, I think he has a goal and 3 assists this season for GA in 4 games. So another player in rich goal scoring, rich form for West Ham. Not necessarily goal scoring department, but nonetheless, 2 very dangerous players to be linking up in that West Ham side. I think both of them will cause us a lot of trouble. Obviously, I have players like Lucas Paqueta that I could have mentioned. He's not my third player, but he could definitely. There's a storyline there. We wanted to get him in this past transfer window. I think he'll want to show Pep that you were right to be interested in a player like him, and he'll want to basically play out of his skin and really take the game to us, show his quality to us. He'll be very combative in the midfield. I think he also is leading the league in tackles right now, which is very surprising because I thought he was more of a forward attacking player. But he's leading the league in tackles right now. It's very interesting. So Jared Bowen, Ward Prowse. The third player I'm going to identify is Mikel Antonio. Mikel Antonio, obviously Jamaican international. I think he missed his call up in the recent international break for personal reasons. I think mainly it was for recovery. So him is another player. I think he has 2 goals this season, and they're 2 very good goals. One against Chelsea, and I believe one against Brighton. So I think he's definitely one to watch out for. He's very physical, very very strong player, and I think he's underrated technically. It's a bit clumsy, but I think he's definitely underrated technically, and he might cause our backline a lot of trouble. I think he might be getting a lot of space for a player like Jared Bowen as well, and space for players like Paqueta and Ward-Prowse to slip into. So I think these players, if they're all on form, trust me, it's a very, very difficult game that we're looking at. For Manchester City, however, looking at Nathan Ake, I think he'll need to have a good game. He had a slight injury scare against, I don't remember who they were playing, but it was Netherlands' first game by the international break, and he came off at halftime. I thought he was injured, but hey, he played 90 minutes against Ireland a few days ago. So there's a good chance that he might start, like I mentioned before. I think he'll need to be very much on it. Not that I'm worried about Nathan Ake. He's been good this season. He was amazing last season. I think he can do a job on Jared Bowen and help us get out of, um, basically lock him down in his rich vein of form. We saw him do it with Saka before. He's done it with Salah as well to an extent. And I think it's time now to give him the Jared Bowen test. I think he'll definitely stand up to it. And it's arguable that he might do a better job of that than Vardial at the moment right now. I haven't seen Vardial get that test as yet. So maybe he should start and then we really see how he fares. But right now, I think the best chance for the win we go with Nathan Ake, and I think he'll do the job for us. The next player that I'm looking at is Rodri. I mentioned before that he needs to have a good game for us to get something out of this. He'll be the starting point of our midfield strength. And I think, build up will come from Rodri first. The centre backs will get it to him, and he'll dictate where the ball goes from there. When we are doing the pause and we're bringing the ball back into play and rotating it again, it has to pass back through Rodri for it to go again further upfield. So Rodri will need to have a good game, and I think he will. We know what we get from Rodri, the best midfielder in the world last season, season before, and so far this season he started off very well again. So I'm not worried about him in terms of will he play good, but I do think that he will play a crucial part in us winning the game. The third player I want to look at for Manchester City is Phil Foden. Anybody who knows me, if you watch my videos, you watch me on any other channel I'm on, whether it's Beta Games, whether it's Patrick True City Fan, or anywhere else I might be, you know I'm a big advocate for Phil Foden. Amazing talent, amazing player. And with KDB out now, I think in that central area, whether it's in the midfield or he's drifting in from the right hand side or left hand side, I think he'll be a very key part of us creating chances in the game. I think his close control, his eye for a pass, his unpredictability, I think we'll need to make the best use of those strengths for him to break down what I expect to be a very low block from West Ham tomorrow. I think a player like Jeremy Doku, I'm not sure if it would be a good opportunity for him because players like him, it's really hot or cold. It's either you see them get into those situations and they can be two, three players and be very effective in creating chances, or you can see them beat one player and then because there are two, three players around them, they tend to lose the ball a lot and they find those games very frustrating. They can't really get into a rhythm to start breaking down teams how they would like to. So it's very arguable with which direction we can go with that in terms of chance creation. But Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden on either wing, I do think that we can slowly and methodically break down a West Ham team that will be a very difficult challenge for us tomorrow. And obviously, players like Alvarez, I could have also mentioned as a player to watch. He's been playing very well. Um, did he score for Argentina over their international break? I'm not sure if he might have gotten one goal out of their two games, but regardless, so far this season, you see scored two or three goals for us. Very good start for Julian Alvarez. He hasn't been blessed with many starting opportunities last season, but so far it's been going good for him. And with the current options that we have, including the injuries, I don't think we should stop his good form by taking a game away from him. So I definitely think he will play. But for Manchester City, the three players who I think will give us the best opportunity to get something out of this game are Nathan Ake, Rodri, and Phil Foden. And to the prediction, let me know your predictions in the chat, guys. My prediction is for a 2-1 Manchester City win. Like I said, it could be worse. It could be a 0-0, 1-0 tight game. It could be a 3-0 or 3-1 type of game as well, where we look comfortable because, the game plan and Pep executes just works to a T and all the players turn up. And we just get something out of the game that, we can say City does this. It's not outrageous to see City go on and give this type of performance. But what I'm expecting to see happen is for Manchester City to win 2-1. Rigid game. West Ham will get their chances. The defense will be on it. They'll probably get a goal after 2-0. And then we'll go on and see out the rest of the game and leave with the points. That's what I expect to see happen. Let me see what's going on in the comments. Hold on, I missed a bit of them. So Scarlett's prediction is West Ham 4-1. And Scarlett also says, I am a Manchester United fan. Well, first and foremost, I hate a club. Let me just say that straight up. I I, I see where the 4-1 prediction comes from now, but fair enough. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I hope you're here on the review to explain why it didn't end up at 4-1, but let's see what happens. Also, a lot of messages about Manchester being red, which is absolute nonsense if you ask me, but no problem. Like I said, everyone is entitled to their opinions. Mr. G, big up to you. Much appreciate you being here. Mr. G says, had to jump on your live from Big Steve. We'll go back and watch Steve. Appreciate that. Much appreciate that. Big up to Steve, man. He's such like there's a lot of help I get from him. I really didn't appreciate him to do. I didn't really expect him to go give me this much strength, but I really do appreciate it, man. And I really do hope I can get him on the channel in the future as well for a lot of other conversations, because debates are just so much more fun with more people. And guys like Big Steve that's so knowledgeable, you can just imagine how sick those debates are going to be. But yeah, man. I also watched his preview just before I did this one. Definitely was not going to miss that. If you guys haven't watched his Big Steve's preview as yet, definitely check that out. Um, Mr. G, Big Steve clears clinical, not gonna lie. 100%. 100% Big Steve is clear of me. Different stratosphere. Um, Scarlett Monet says, "Can I DM you about MCFC Connect? I'd rather you not, personally, because I don't know why. But like I said, if things work out, you might see him on the channel for future shows." Um, Says, "I'm worried about his health." Okay, well, that's different. Um, yeah, like I said, when I reach out to him, I'll talk to him. I'll see if he's good. I think he's good though, because he's usually optimistic when he speaks about City. He seems really chill, so I assume that he's good. If there's anything wrong though, I hope that he's getting through whatever he needs to. But I didn't get an impression that he would have had any health issues. But yeah, Big Steve is a real blue, and Scarlett with a bunch of weird messages about the DMs. Really, Scarlett, I really do appreciate your comments so much, but can we keep it to West Ham? I really do want to keep it to West Ham. And I'd really like to also wrap up this stream by the next 3 minutes, because we're currently at 42 minutes. I didn't mean to go for this long, but I do want to get through the rest of these comments. Ethan says Steve is class, and also says, and of course, and he also says Paqueta should not be playing. I can't lie. All the news about the betting stuff has died down. So that's very, I don't know, very weird if you ask me. It pops up to block the transfer and then disappears. So I don't know. But like I said, I think he'll be I think he'll be very interested in putting himself on that shopping window per se. I think that's a decent way to say it. Like, he'll want to ball out defensively, offensively in that midfield area, battling with Rodri. I think he'll want to give his best game. I'm sure he's tearing it up in training this week. Um, I think Pep will go with Phillips this week. He had a good game with England. For if Phillips starts, I don't know what I'll say to you, because I genuinely did not expect to see Calvin Phillips start this weekend. Um, it would kind of be, would it be out of the blue though? Well, yeah, because Pep has really not favored him last season since he's been fit. Kind of understandable, because it was a tough season. We were winning games when we needed to, and we couldn't manage to really shuffle that too much. But to start him now in a difficult game like this, I don't think that's the best move. Ethan says, "You ever seen a game live at the stadium? If so, what game?" No, mate, I have not. I do hope to in the near future. Within the next 2 years, I do want to hopefully see a Manchester Derby live at the Etihad. So that's my dream. I hope to make that happen one day. But yeah, I definitely have not been able to make that happen as yet. MJG window cleaning says 17 goals last season for Alvarez, so still a good contribution from him. 100%, definitely. I do think he'll start like I had in the lineup. That's what I expected Pep to do, by the way, that lineup. My lineup would have been slightly different, still including Alvarez, but yeah, I think Alvarez will start. There's no need to drop him. He's been good so far this season, and he's still performing. Attitude is amazing. He's still improving as well. So I think he'll continue to play games. MJG window cleaning says 1-0 City. This will be tight. They will sit back and break it on the counter. That is exactly what they did against Brighton, and it worked. It definitely worked. They made it a very physical game. They took their chances, and they're a team that play in moments. When the moment is right, they'll spring and they'll just connect those string of passes together. Somebody getting on the end of them, whether it be Jared Bowen or Michael Antonio, somebody is going to score that goal for them. And for a team like us to be going at them and for them to try to spring on us like that, I don't think it's a good matchup for us. But let's see what we can get out of it. Um, Mr. G says, I think we'll have a clean sheet. I hope we have a clean sheet. I can't say I'm expecting a clean sheet, but if not 2-1, my next prediction would be 2-0. Does that make sense? So if not 2-1, my prediction is 2-1. If it's not 2-1, I think it will be 2-0 and we'll get the clean sheet. But I think 2-1 is more likely than 2-0. That's just my opinion though, but I hear you. You think we'll get a clean sheet? Um MJG window cleaning, letting Scarlett know some factors, some real truth. Manchester is blue, and it will be blue for the foreseeable future as well. Um, Big Steve is the old G. Ethan says, "What's the best type of window?" Okay, that's for window cleaner. Scarlett says, "Everyone troll MCFC TV stream in 45 minutes." I don't endorse trolling, but if FCFR TV is streaming in 45 minutes, I'll be there supporting him, and I hope to see some of you guys over there as well. Don't be trolling the man though. Let's all enjoy a good stream over there in 45 minutes. I'm about to wrap this one up. You guys know what I think. Difficult game. I do want to show that respect to West Ham because they have started the season very well so far. And I do think that they'll go on to have a top 10 finish in the league this season. I do think they might be doing something in that Europa League as well. Keep an eye on them. Keep an eye on Brighton. But if West Ham continue like this, I think West Ham can win that Europa League. I want them to win that Europa League as a matter of fact, because that would be absolutely amazing for them. Definitely, if you don't like West Ham, you'll hear them piping up a lot. They'll be celebrating, but I enjoyed watching them celebrate their Conference League, so I hope they get their um, Europa League win if it's there for them. Um, Ethan says, when is the next stream? Good question. Next stream is going to be on Sunday after the game. Probably a similar time, just before or after the CIA show with Veta Games TV. So I'll try to do it just before because usually we do that stream around 9. So I'll try to be around the same time, around 8 p.m. And that's UK time, of course. And yeah, that is when I want to do the West Ham review stream. MCFR TV says, made it. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for stopping by. Just about made the buzzer. I'm about to wrap up the stream, but thanks for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, people. And Scarlett on whether Manchester is red or blue says no, it's not blue because history matters. 100%. At the moment, though, Manchester is blue, and before long, I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna leave it right there. But MCFR TV says been busy all week and had internet problems sometimes. No problem. But like I said, we should definitely get you on the stream one day. We need to have a chat. I think that would be an amazing conversation to have. Let me know if I'll reach out to see if you're available for the West Ham review. I could get you on. We could have some chat. If you're okay with that, it's no problem at all. We can get something sorted. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had planned for you guys today. Longer stream than I had intention for it to be. On the review, I'll try to do a bit better with making it more concise. I'll get to the comments maybe a little bit quicker. And we have our agendas to go through so we don't get lost along the way in terms of what we're talking about. But please, if you're watching this on the review, on the replay as well, please continue to like and subscribe. On the way to 300 subscribers, you can definitely get there by the end of next season, by the end of next year, whichever one, I'll definitely take it regardless. But yeah, thanks for all the support, guys. Leave me a comments after the video as well and let me know what you think your prediction is. Let me know what lineups you guys will go for. Let me know what lineups you think Pep will go with. Let me know if I'm overreacting about the injury crisis. Let me know if you guys think it will be an easier game than I do, because I think this is a very tough test for us. And I think I'm not sure if it was Scarlett who said this could be our toughest game this season. I think that's a very good conversation to have because it could be. We played Newcastle already, but that was at home. We're playing away at West Ham while they're in good form, so it's definitely a conversation to have. But I appreciate all the guys who left me comments today. Lady Scarlett as well, MCFR TV coming in late, Mr. G, Ethan. Sorry if I'm forgetting anybody else's name, MJG TV, MJG Window Cleaner as well. Appreciate all the comments. And Mr. G with the message to sign us off. Come on, Blues. Come on, City. Until next time. See you guys.